that they now can confirm indeed that the 4 personnel killed were indeed United States Marines. The Pentagon saying very quietly that yes, there were 4 Marines that were killed in this incident. Their families, of course, at this hour now being notified. So this is automatically a very sensitive situation, as you can imagine, for the U.S. military. We talked a few minutes ago about how the Pentagon would know very quickly if any of its personnel were killed. It apparently took some time for this word to filter through the system, through the Marine Corps, through the military services, and come to the Pentagon. The information we are being given is that the 4 Marines were killed at the second shooting site, not at the strip mall site, but the shooter apparently then drove to another site, a support facility, fired there, and the indications the Pentagon has is that this is where the Marines were killed. In addition, and I think it was addressed in the press conference, the military going now through all of its databases with the identity of the shooter, which we do not know, to see if this person potentially had any prior military service. But this incident began just shortly before at 11 o'clock this morning, East Coast time, when this still unidentified male drove up to this strip mall recruiting station, opened fire through the door. We see that door full of bullet holes. There was a military person injured there, and then drove onto this other site a short distance away, and apparently by all accounts now, according to the Pentagon, 4 Marines killed there. At the moment, the Pentagon not really able to answer whether they're treating this as an incident of terrorism. Certainly law enforcement, domestic law enforcement, taking the major lead role in this, but they are looking to see, could the shooter have had prior military service? Is there anything they might know about this person that would help them understand and explain what happened here?
Pulled off, trying not to, because I knew he had saw me and I didn't want to get hit, so I pulled off, and then I tried to go around back where I saw some people escaping from the back of the building to see if, she would be coming out through the back.
What was the scene like?
It was a regular day. I mean, he just pulled up and I didn't think anything of it. He had his drop top and he looked to the side, and next thing you know, he lifted up his arms like this with a big black gun, and it was one shot, and then it was just endless shots, one after another, just unloading into the Army.
What was the scene like inside your salon?
Just crazy. Once we realized what was going on, we were like, call 911 and get to the back of the building. I mean, that was the only thing that we thought of, and just right now we're just thanking God that we're safe, that all of us are safe, that it could have been us at any moment. So we're just thankful right now.
Just the whole scene is pretty much chaotic at this point. Just what would you like to tell other people that are here and just kind of just witnessing? There's really one of the manager in Toscano says that he saw a man with a gunshot wound. Did you guys see anything like that?
We didn't see him, but we've heard that there was a person with a gunshot wound to the leg, but we have not seen. We did see the ambulance here earlier and everything, but we did not see him. I didn't see him personally.
How scary was it for you guys?
Just scary.
It was scary.
But like I said, we're just thankful. We're just thankful for our hope and our faith and our trust in Jesus, that we're okay and that everyone in the complex is okay.
Last question, message to the families that have maybe lost loved ones today.
Just take one day at a time. Love your loved ones. Spend time with your family. If you're not born again, get born again, because you never know the day or the time.
I just want to tell our viewers, we have just gotten this image in that you took, April, of the doors to this recruitment center littered with bullet holes.
Yes, when I saw it, I could not believe how many bullet holes were in that door. It was insane. It was just so fast and so loud.
Can you tell me what some of the officers around that, the door, the entrance there, what were they saying? What were they doing when you went up to take the photo?
Well, one of my friends walked up to take it, and I was standing behind, and like what happened, I don't know exactly what they told them, but they were pretty much just saying to leave and stay safe, and I think I don't know if there was more than one person hurt there, but I know somebody was, and there was 2 ambulances that took people off.
April, can you tell me, when you went up to the doors there and you took that picture, were there any employees still inside, or had everyone left the recruitment center?
Well, like I said, I didn't take the picture myself. Somebody went up to it and they sent it to me. I was behind.
Okay,
I didn't go all the way up to the door.
Okay, so a friend of yours took it, or someone and sent it to you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know if they had any employees still inside, or if everyone had been told to leave?
I'm sure everyone was told to evacuate. There were several of them that were walking down by my school, and we asked if it was okay, because what we did was we locked the doors immediately when it happened. And shortly after, we just said, is it okay to open the doors? And they're like, I don't know, y'all probably need to go home.
I can tell you that when police got to this neighborhood, and we must tell you, this neighborhood's the kind of place you come to and move to when you're fulfilling the American dream. And this is where Abdulazeez lived for most of his life, perhaps as early as when he was 7 years old. The street is now closed, police blocking it because police are inside the house, investigating, making sure there's no booby traps or bomb-making material, taking out evidence. So when they got there, we are told by people who live in the neighborhood that they said, FBI, come out with your hands up. We don't know the relationship of that woman to the gunman, but we do know she was handcuffed and let out. That doesn't mean she was arrested. It just means she was handcuffed and let out, and that's all we know at this point. Now, the bomb squad, K-9 units were here. The K-9 units are still here. The bomb squad has left, but as we said, they are still on the scene going through the house. We can tell you Abdulazeez graduated from the University of Tennessee Chattanooga campus in 2012 with an electrical engineering degree. It does not appear that he had any job. He had various internships after he got out of college, but it does not look like he had a full-time job. We also know, John, that in April of this year, he was arrested for DWI. He had a hearing scheduled for that DWI charge 2 weeks from today.
Interesting.
John.
Now, the neighborhood itself, you call it the place where you move to when you want to fulfill the American dream. What are neighbors saying about the suspect and the family?
Yeah, neighbors are absolutely stunned. And we've talked to a few different people who knew him, who knew his family. We talked to one gentleman who has 3 children. He says his 3 children used to be babysat by the gunman's older sister and younger sister. And at times, the gunman would come over too, and he would talk to them, and he thought he was just a normal guy. Take a listen.
Good kid. I didn't see anything wrong with him.
What kind of family does he have?
They're good people. I've never found any kind of conflict with them.
It sounds like a cliche, but it must be stated. Everyone we've talked to in this neighborhood, totally stunned. Can't believe this guy who they've seen in this neighborhood since he was 7 years old, they think in 2nd grade, could have possibly done something like this.
I was in the kitchen. I was doing my prep for the day. I heard tons of, I didn't even know they were gunshots at first. I just heard tons of loud noise in the front of the restaurant. And then when I looked out of the window, I seen this vehicle. It was a newer model Camaro, a silver Camaro with no top. No, it was a Mustang, sorry. It was a Ford Mustang with no top. It was convertible. And I didn't see the guy's face at all. Like the part, that holds up the windshield was directly in front of his face. And from the angle where I was standing, I could just see his arms out of the window holding this high-powered rifle, and he was just shooting into the businesses. And I just sat there and watched, and it was in shock as how many times he fired. I mean, it was numerous times, 20, 30 gunshots into the businesses right next door.
Could you tell Gina what kind of weapon he had?
I have no idea about any kind of guns. I just know there wasn't rapid fire. It wasn't simultaneous. It was just pow, 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 one after the other. It was a big old rifle. That's all I know.
I know you didn't see his face, right?
No, I didn't see anything but his arms and the gun. And then once I seen the gun, my attention pretty much was focused on the gun the whole time.
So what did you do? Were you frozen? What did you do?
Yeah, I remember going through what was going through my head. I was just like, is this real? Is this a real gun? What is going on? Is this really happening? And then after he pulled off, several people from the businesses right next door, we all rushed over to help. Thankfully, everybody made it out. And, we opened up the doors and was calling it, is everybody okay? Making sure everybody was all right and not hit. Nobody was laying on the floor, things like that. And there was just debris. Just stuff flying all in the air in the office from where he opened fire on it. And then we were just all in shock. We've been in shock all day long. Just very blessed that nobody got hurt next to us. I know there was fatalities at the Amnicala location, and I mean, it's just crazy that happened today.
And is Mohammod Youssuf Abdulazeez. The date of birth is in 1990. That would make him about 24, 25 years old. That is the name of the suspected shooter who carried out this attack, these attacks today in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We don't, now we're trying to figure out a little bit more about him. What is his background, where perhaps if there's any kind of relationship with the military, or whether or not he was inspired by, again, some of these threats that we've seen all summer long against U.S. military facilities. Again, those are the unanswered questions that we still have at this point. We haven't heard from officially from law enforcement exactly what they believed was motivating these attacks. But again, the name, according to sources that we've talked to, is of the shooter is Mohammod Youssuf Abdulazeez, 24, 25 years old. He's the one that is believed to have carried out this attack today in Chattanooga.